Hello, patrons. So welcome to the first of what will be hopefully an ongoing series of Q&A videos. This will be a little extra perk just that you'll receive for being a patron of Control-Alt-Delete. So what I'll do is at the beginning of each month, I'll make a post on Patreon, and you can use the comments section to ask me questions. And then at some point during the course of the month, I'll grab a number of those questions, and I'll answer them in video blog format, kind of like this. So in this way, you can kind of directly ask me questions that might have been on your mind, either regarding my work or a certain video game or just something you were curious about, whatever. Hopefully it's something you'll dig and find interesting, and we can keep it going. All right, our first question for August. Sean R. asked, "What is my favorite cereal?" Which I guess was inevitable given the wording of my post there. So my honest to goodness absolute favorite cereal is Cocoa Krispies. Like, if I just want to rot the shit out of my teeth, a couple bowls of Cocoa Krispies will do it for me. But in general, for my day-to-day, my go-to cereal is Raisin Bran Crunch with a banana sliced up into it. Okay, Zero Care wanted to know why Team Instinct in Pokemon Go, referring to the fact that my wife and I are on Team Instinct. So actually there's two reasons. The first reason is that the week that Pokemon Go came out, that weekend we actually went up to my parents' house for the weekend in Massachusetts, and then that was roughly where we hit level 5, and so we weren't near our hometown to have the opportunity to look to see like who held the gyms around us and what the most, what the dispersion of teams was like. So that was one of the reasons, and the other reason was that I kind of had a feeling that red and blue were going to be the most popular, and in things like that I usually tend to like playing the underdog team, just because like if you win on the team that's just the most popular and like everybody's playing on that team, it just doesn't feel as satisfying as a win when you're the underdog, when you come from behind, and it just feels like, I don't know, maybe a little bit more unique. Like, so that was kind of the secondary reason for going Team Instinct is, and it's actually worked out rather well, because there are a lot of Mystic and Valor players around, and it's much easier to take a gym from a Mystic or Valor player than it is to train up an already Instinct gym high enough to slot our Pokemon in there. It takes like 3 times as long to train up a gym to get that extra slot as it does to just take down a gym. So it's much easier for us to grab those gyms and bounce back and forth to a number of gyms to put our Pokemon in there before collecting the coins. So Frank Ewald asks what the status of the first and second Patreon milestones are, and that's a great question. So the first and second Patreon milestones regard me getting back to drawing the sillies, which I was doing really well with for quite a while there. And then a couple things happened. The first was last spring I launched the Kickstarter for the big Control-Alt-Delete 3-volume collection that I did, and that just, I mean, I can't even really describe the amount of work that took to just through running the Kickstarter and then getting them printed and then organizing shipping and all the extra things that I had to do, like the sketches and signing everything or whatever. So that just kind of like laid me out for like almost a full year in terms of eating up like all of my spare time, any little bits of spare time. So I was just swamped, and so I initially put them on hold for that reason, because I just couldn't do everything all at once. That sort of then dovetailed into us having our second child. So we have a 3-month-old now, which means that I'm still not in like a really place where my schedule has settled down, which is kind of like when I initially launched the Patreon and put those milestones up. Everything in my life, it's sort of like calmed down to a really manageable place. Like my first son Flynn was old enough that that was kind of like we had a routine going there. So yeah, so long story short, I will get back to those first and second milestones. I 100% intend to do that. It's just right now I have other things and other projects that sort of have to take priority. So Christian wants to know why my butt is so dumb. That's actually a pretty simple question, Christian. It's because it spent so long with your face wedged into it that, I guess it was just contagious. And finally, the last question for August, Chris Leak asks what's going on with that possible idea of collecting the campaign into a PDF file, which is something I'm still open to doing, but it won't be this year. I can tell you that, because next year I'm going to be doing another round of books. So I'll have enough issues of Starcaster and enough issues of Analog and D-Pad to put those into their own books. And at the same time, what I'll do is I'll go through and collect the last 4 years of Control-Alt-Delete and put that into its own book. So once I'm going through and grabbing all of those comics, I may take the campaign and stick it into a PDF real quick once I've already got that all sorted and that sort of thing. But it just really hasn't been a top priority for me right now, but it is definitely still something I'm open to. All right, so that's it for August's Patreon Q&A. At the beginning of September, you'll find another post where you can ask questions if you have, if they're follow-ups. And again, just feel free to ask whatever, because if it's not something I'm interested in answering, or it's way too personal or something like that, I just won't answer it. But feel free to ask. So that's it, and thank you for watching, and thank you so much for supporting Control-Alt-Delete through our Patreon.